Bobby Brown recently shared a deeply personal and poignant moment that has haunted him for decades. The first time he saw his late wife, Whitney Houston, using drugs. This emotional revelation came during an interview where Bobby recounted the shock and sadness he felt witnessing Whitney, renowned worldwide for her angelic voice and extraordinary talent, partake in cocaine. What makes this moment even more tragic was its timing. It occurred on their wedding day. For Bobby, this wasn't just an unexpected glimpse into a hidden facet of Whitney's life. It was a stark foreshadowing of the challenges they would face as a couple. In his account, Bobby vividly recalled the wave of emotions that engulfed him as he watched the woman he deeply loved reach for a substance that he feared could irrevocably alter their lives. Despite being familiar with the pressures and temptations of the music industry, he had never imagined that Whitney, often portrayed as America's golden girl, would have her own struggles with addiction. Seeing Whitney use drugs on a day meant for joy and celebration marked a turning point for Bobby. It was a sobering realization, casting a shadow over what should have been one of the happiest days of their lives. This revelation not only unveiled a side of Whitney he hadn't fully known, but also highlighted the immense pressures she faced as a global superstar. The demands of fame, coupled with the constant scrutiny, had driven Whitney to seek solace in substances. For Bobby, their wedding day became symbolic of the complexities in their relationship. A love story marked by passion, struggle, and a shared battle with addiction. Despite their deep connection, Bobby and Whitney's marriage would unfold in the public eye, with their personal struggles often sensationalized in tabloids. Bobby's recollection of this moment underscores the immense challenges they faced as a couple, trying to navigate both fame and their personal demons. He spoke candidly about how he tried to support Whitney, aiming to be a stabilizing force in her life. However, addiction is a powerful force, one that strains even the strongest relationships. Over time, their marriage became defined not just by love, but by the battles they both waged against substance abuse. They often enabled each other's habits, creating a cycle that was difficult to break, especially under the relentless gaze of the public. This initial encounter with Whitney's drug use on their wedding day set the stage for a tumultuous relationship filled with both moments of joy and profound sorrow. Bobby's reflections reveal a deep sense of regret and sadness as he watched someone he loved struggle with addiction, a force that ultimately contributed to Whitney's tragic decline. In his interview, Bobby expressed his enduring wish that he could have done more to help Whitney. He acknowledged, however, the complexities of addiction, describing it as a disease that often defies even the most heartfelt interventions. Today, as he reflects on their time together, Bobby's memories of Whitney are a mix of love and sorrow. He has spoken about the pain of losing her and the lessons he learned through their shared struggles. By sharing this deeply personal memory, Bobby hopes to shed light on the realities of addiction within relationships, particularly under the unforgiving pressures of fame. Bobby's account of their wedding day offers a poignant insight into the complexities of his relationship with Whitney, highlighting both the beauty and tragedy that define their time together. It is a story of love, loss, and the enduring impact of addiction, leaving fans and followers to reflect on the legacy of two iconic figures who, despite their struggles, left an indelible mark on the world of music and on each other's lives. During a heartfelt sit-down interview with Robin Roberts for 2020's, Bobby opened up about one of the most startling moments of his life: discovering Whitney's drug use. The moment, a blend of shock and heartbreak, occurred just before they were set to exchange vows in an intimate ceremony at Whitney's New Jersey mansion in 1992. Bobby described how Whitney unexpectedly offered him cocaine, an offer he declined. This incident, later detailed in his memoir Every Little Step, My Story, provided an unanticipated glimpse into a hidden side of Whitney's life, one that would complicate their relationship and lead to devastating consequences. In his book, Bobby vividly described finding Whitney hunched over a bureau, snorting a line of cocaine, a sight that left him heartbroken. Over the years, Bobby has faced public scrutiny, often being portrayed as the negative influence who introduced Whitney to drugs. However, in this interview, he firmly refuted those claims, asserting, "It wasn't me that started her." He explained that Whitney's struggles with addiction were shaped by a variety of pressures she faced as a global icon. Bobby candidly acknowledged his role in their shared battles with addiction, expressing remorse for the part he played. "I take my part, and I take it hard," he admitted. He emphasized, however, that addiction is a personal struggle, one that varies from person to person in terms of resistance and vulnerability. Their shared challenges not only strained their relationship, but also raised concerns about the impact on their daughter, Bobby Christina Brown. Bobby spoke about the lengths he and Whitney went to shield Bobby Christina from their struggles. He described their efforts to maintain a sense of normalcy and stability for their daughter, ensuring she never saw them in compromising situations. However, he admitted the difficulty of maintaining this facade, particularly when addiction had become a daily reality. Tragically, Bobby Christina's life ended in a manner eerily similar to her mother's, found unresponsive in a bathtub with drugs in her system. For Bobby, her loss underscored the devastating ripple effects of addiction, not just on individuals but on their families. Reflecting on this painful legacy, Bobby expressed deep sorrow for the environment in which Bobby Christina grew up. Despite their efforts to protect her, the unintended consequences of their struggles left a lasting impact, a burden he grapples with to this day. His interview with Roberts offered a nuanced perspective on his and Whitney's lives, portraying a love story intertwined with profound challenges. Bobby's reflections reveal a man still deeply affected by the loss of Whitney and Bobby Christina. His enduring love for Whitney remains a central theme as he spoke of their bond with reverence and sorrow. He acknowledged that despite their tumultuous relationship, Whitney was the one person who truly understood him without judgment, a connection he cherishes even now. In a surprising turn, Bobby also recounted a surreal experience involving a ghost in a mansion he once owned in Georgia. He claimed to have had a paranormal encounter, describing it as one of the strangest moments of his life. "I wasn't high. I was not tripping," he insisted, adding a layer of intrigue to his already complex life story. Through this interview, Bobby painted a portrait of a life marked by extraordinary highs and devastating lows. His candidness about addiction, love, and loss offers a raw, unfiltered look at the struggles behind the public personas of two of the world's most iconic entertainers. Bobby's reflections are a powerful reminder of the human frailty behind fame and the enduring love that remains even in the face of unimaginable hardship. Bobby Brown is a portrait of the American dream. Born into poverty in a Boston housing project, Brown used his talent to become a member of New Edition as a teenager, helping them to become one of the highest-selling boy bands of all time. He then launched a highly successful solo career, watching his second solo effort, Don't Be Cruel, spawn 5 top 10 Billboard Hot 100 hits and selling more than 7 million copies. Brown was quick to shed his boy band image and fully embraced being the media's new bad boy. "Back then, I was definitely hard-headed," he said in the New York Post in 2017. "After I went solo, I was rich, a millionaire at 18 years old. You couldn't tell me nothing. I didn't want anyone's advice, and obviously I got into some bad situations." But although the Grammy winner achieved remarkable success and admittedly put himself into bad situations, his personal life has been marred with seemingly one unexpected tragedy after another. During the early 1980s, there wasn't a bigger boy band than New Edition. With radio hits such as Candy Girl, Cool It Now, and Mr. Telephone Man, it seemed the group was destined for superstardom for years to come. However, much like with many young people in the music industry, they were surrounded by greedy managers who didn't have their best interests at heart. During the 3-part miniseries, The New Edition Story, that aired on BET in 2017, It was revealed that after the group's first worldwide tour, a tour bus took them all back to the Orchard Park housing projects, with each member getting a check for $1.87 via billboard. Ricky Bell confirmed the story while live tweeting the series. And yes, the tour bus dropped us off right back in the projects, he wrote. Bobby Brown spoke about the financial hardships the group faced when he sat down with ABC's Robin Roberts in 2016. He claimed that after the success of their breakout hit, Candy Girl, the members of New Edition were paid $500 and given VCRs. 2 years later, in 1985, Brown officially left the group to embark on a solo career. I was voted out of the group, he explained to Roberts. I would do the opposite, of what they told New Edition to do. I was my own man at a young age, and I just wanted what I wanted. On September 28, 1995, Bobby Brown's friend Stephen Seeley was gunned down outside Biarritz Lounge in Boston. The AP reported that Seeley was shot in the head and chest while seated in Brown's car. Brown was standing outside with his bodyguard when the gunman opened fire on his Bentley. The car was riddled with bullets. Fire Lieutenant Richard Quinlan said, Seeley, who was engaged to Brown's sister, died in the shooting. According to the AP, via the Spokesman Review, the nightclub was a block from Brown's former home in the Orchard Park projects, and that a gold medallion was taken off Seeley's person during the shooting. A man of that caliber in that rinky-dink club? It don't make sense to me, EMT Jimmy Young said per the AP. People are jealous. They envy him. He shouldn't come around showing off. The Boston Herald reports that Marlon Pasley was falsely convicted of the crime and spent 4 years in federal prison until another man, John Tibbs, confessed to the crime while already serving a 27-year sentence for killing a 17-year-old a month prior to Seeley's death. Our fundamental goal was to see John Tibbs stand up and held account for his crimes. Suffolk District Attorney Daniel Conley said, It's been such an open wound in so many lives. While growing up in the neighborhood of Roxbury in Boston, Bobby Brown experienced tragic loss early when his best friend, James Jumbo Flint, was stabbed to death at a party. The unexpected death of his friend became a turning point in the young Brown's life. I think the stabbing showed me what could happen to me if I didn't straighten out my life, Bobby told the Los Angeles Times in 1992. Before that, I was nonchalant about the future. They had all kinds of programs to give kids summer jobs, but we were into parties. He went on to dedicate his second solo album, Don't Be Cruel, to his slain best friend. The musician's brother, Tommy Brown, reiterated how Flint's death shocked Bobby into focusing on his future. When his friend passed, you could see Bobby taking his career, his schooling, his whole life more seriously, he said. As kids, everyone had their dreams, but his loss made him more determined. He started getting serious about music the way other kids in Roxbury might get serious about playing pro basketball. They all wanted to make something of their lives.